But seriously, they go, it's so great to be here with you guys doing comedy. I didn't always get to do this. A lot of comics struggle with day jobs when we're first starting out, you know? Had so many of them. The longest one I ever had was in an office as a receptionist. I don't know if we have receptionists with us tonight. Great. It's a thankless job. You just get called the receptionist. Like, they don't take the time to learn your name. I remember thinking, maybe if I invite them down to a show, it'll help me fit in a little better. The next day, they still didn't know my name. Instead of referring to me as the receptionist, I was the receptionist with issues. But I got fired for not following the company dress code. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It was very corporate, but here's my theory. I sat at a big desk, so what did it matter what I wore from here down? So I'd show up in a blazer, tried to sneak in wearing Lululemons and just color in the white symbol with like a black Sharpie. I'm like, they won't notice. Turns out they noticed. And they can't say, hey, you look like crap. Because there's HR departments and offices. They're not allowed to speak to you like that. So my boss would try to be kind about it. She was like, you're at the front desk. That means you're the face of the company. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, the company's having a rough year. She says this, she says, we're gonna need you to start coming into work a little more put together. That's how she'd say it, put together. I'm like, it's 8 in the morning. I can be on time or put together. You're gonna have to pick one. And the one time I got a compliment, I came in, she's like, this is what we've been talking about. You're wearing a pretty dress, you have makeup on. I'm like, both of these are still on from the night before. Actually, I have a headache, why are you yelling? The day I got fired, which by the way, the official reason was being late all the time. I'm like, I told you to pick one. I got fired, they called me into an office and fired me. I walked back to my desk, everything had already been packed into a box and there was a big security guard standing there. So I'm like, well, what's happening? He goes, I'm here to escort you off the property. That's the company's policy. I guess because it was a software company, they were very careful about stuff. I don't know what kind of software. I'm not even 100% sure what software is. Looking back, I probably deserve to get fired for a lot of reasons. So when they're like, you're late all the time, I'm like, that's it. That's the one thing I've done that's bad. You got me. So I start bargaining with the security guard. I'm like, listen, everybody's gonna watch you escort me out. This is going to be very embarrassing. Why don't I walk one way, you walk the other? I'm not gonna cause a scene. I'm like almost crying at this point, like holding like the box of stuff. I'm like, I'm not gonna cause a scene. He goes, it's company policy. We do it to stop you from stealing. Like, I've been stealing from you for 4 years. You couldn't figure that out and you're head of security and I'm the one losing my job? Are you kidding me right now? And everybody steals from their jobs. Everybody. Don't you guys take from your jobs? Yeah. Everybody steals. This microphone's going in my purse after the show. Everybody. And you might think you don't, but you do. Don't act like you've never taken a pen or a Post-it note or a coworker's boyfriend. We all do it. We all do it. I knew I'd gone too far in the office supply theft when trick-or-treaters were coming around. And I was giving out ink toner supply cartridges. After I got fired from that, the only job I could get was as a temp. Do you guys know what a temp does? It's nothing. But being a temp is the best. You can get away with anything. I just never took assignments that were longer than a week. That's how long it takes for a complaint to go through the proper HR channels. Well, you had a problem with me working in yoga pants. By the time you get written formal permission to send me down to reprimand me, I'll be off in another office working in goddamn yoga pants. Like, if you're a permanent employee and you screw up on a document, you're gonna get in trouble. If you're a temp and you screw up on a document, just shred it. And this is how dumb people are. I would go in to answer phones mostly for like a day or two, and I would have the same conversation with a different person in a different office every week. I'd be like, hello? Hello? They'd say, oh, can I speak to the president or the CEO, you know? I'd be like, oh, no, they're unavailable, or they're on lunch. Then they'd say this, maybe you can help me. That's a pretty big jump. You're calling to speak to the president of a major corporation, they're unavailable, and your next step down to who can help you is the temporary receptionist that makes minimum wage and plays on her cell phone for 8 hours a day. Unless you're calling to get to level 27 in Candy Crush, I can't fucking help you. here's a thought. Maybe you help me. What's the name of the company that I just answered the phone in? I almost got busted lying about my qualifications. I'm in a one-day assignment. They said, you could stay an extra day, make more money if you know senior administration skills. I said, yep, what do you need? I said, do you know how to take minutes in a meeting? I'm like, sure. How hard can that be? So I sit in this meeting for what felt like an hour just doodling in a notebook. I'm like, this is the easiest job I've ever had. I'm gonna be a temp forever. Meeting ends. I go to stand up. They said, whoa, wait, please read back the minutes. 60. And I have, if you're not laughing, you also don't know how to take minutes in a meeting. I still don't know why that joke is funny. And I gotta rant about this before I get out of here, and sometimes this goes over well, sometimes it doesn't, but I've worked in so many offices, and I have to complain about this. If you're supposed to be on maternity leave for a year, can you stop showing up at the office 3 times a week with your baby for goddamn visits? You could be the most popular person at work. You have a year off. Nobody wants to see you. We had a woman named Shayla. We had a party for Shayla with cake, balloons, streamers. I signed a card that said, see you in a year, Shayla. No. She'd come in with her baby for visits. Side note, Shayla was really tiny and had the biggest baby. I don't know how that happens. Looked like a GMO baby. I'm like, who's the father? Monsanto? What aren't you telling us here? Shayla says, when are you gonna have kids? I said, I actually don't know if and I know some women find that sad. You know, some women are like, that's sad. Other women are like, take mine, they're in the car. Just leave a bottle of wine on the car seat. That's a pretty good deal. I said, Shayla, I don't think I wanna do it. She goes, how do you know? Try it, you might like it. Try it, I might like it. We're talking about a baby, Shayla, not a Brussels sprouts. What do I do if I try it and I don't like it? I can't wrap it in a napkin and feed it to the dog, Shayla. She goes, I worry about you. I worry about you that if you don't have kids, you're gonna wake up one day and be really sad. Just gonna wake up and be really sad. I'm like, joke's on you, Shayla. I wake up every day and I'm pretty sad. If I have a kid, I'll wake up 5 times in the night and be pretty goddamn sad each and every time. And I've lied about having kids when it's felt convenient for me. If I'm having a day where I feel low self-esteem and someone says, hey, do you have kids? I say, I have 4. I'm like, whoa, you look so good. I'm like, I'm 7 months pregnant with the 5th one right now. I ride the subway a lot, and sometimes the subway drivers can be a little mean. You know, I left my cell phone on the subway. I get off the train, the door slammed shut, the train didn't move. The driver stuck his head out the window to talk to another employee. I said, can you open the doors quickly? I left my cell phone. He goes, no, go to the lost and found. I never got it back. People don't kind of turn that stuff in. They just don't. Learned my lesson a month ago. I left my brand new Mac laptop on the train. The exact same scenario. The door slammed shut. Driver sticks his head out the window. I start to panic and point at the doors. I go, my baby's on there. They open the doors right back up for me. Now I know. Whenever I take my laptop out in public, I just wear it one of those baby Bjorn things in front of me. I do have to get out of here, but I got to address the Michelle in the room for a second, if you will. I do. It's awkward coming up and being on stage because I can feel certain people checking me out. And I know why. I know why. And I don't have an ego about a lot of things. I mean, I like my hair. I know I have good hair. People compliment me on that. I have good hair. I think it probably looks better on me than the woman who had it on her head before. But I know, it's because I got glasses. And a few years ago, a woman with glasses became a fetish, and we did not get a say in that. Everybody's looking at me, and it has nothing to do with my body. It's for my bifocals. Girls with glasses know what I'm talking about. Can't even walk down the street without someone saying something about them, you know? Just walking down the street, someone says, oh, you look like a naughty librarian, maybe a sexy teacher. Like, whoa, calm down, I have astigmatism and I'm just trying to see you, pervert. They say, maybe you can act like a naughty librarian in the bedroom. I'm like, well then, shh. I'll leave you guys on this. I got surprised once with the opposite reaction, which had never happened. A young guy, maybe about 21, 22, came up to me. Sometimes I feel like maybe they think differently, because they grew up with the generation of teen movies where the girl takes off her glasses and becomes a different person. So I think he thought if I took them off, I'd get, you know, like blonde hair, you know, and like really blonde hair. He comes up to me and he's like, oh, my friend and I were just talking about your glasses. I'm like, I know. I look like a sexy teacher. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, I bet you look hotter without your glasses. I'm like, I'd know you look hotter without my glasses. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your night.